as well. So I think we'll have a little chat with these guys, and I also want to introduce you to Tamara and James, who are from Mr. and Mrs. Smith, CTO and CEO, is that right?
No, chairman.
Chairman now?
Chairman,
okay.
yeah. I'm new to the golf course, but...
You can still think clear on that. So we're going to speak to all of these guys about vacations, and obviously get some expert tips from these two, who are the gurus of where to go on holiday, which I'm very interested in. So to start off with the three of you, I'd love to just hear a little bit about your collections, and also about how travel and destinations influence your designs. So should we start with you, Ileana?
Okay. I have two collections, my fine jewelry collection and my second line, which is mostly sterling silver, diamonds, or what we do today, which is painted, hand-painted, evil eyes. Each one is a one-of-a-kind piece. It's like what we call wearable art. And inspiration, of course, comes from journeys, because you get in touch with different cultures all over the world, and you get different feelings. The people, the smells, the colors, whatever you see around you is something that can inspire you. And I particularly like India, one of the countries that I have traveled to for many, many years, and I love many things about it, and I do get a lot of inspiration there.
Whereabouts in India?
Everywhere, but a lot in the north, in Rajasthan. India is a country where a jewelry designer can really be happy, because you find amazing gemstones. So whenever I go there, I get totally destroyed, because I start with the budget and I always go over it. But at the same time, you become more creative. The whole culture and the pace of their life is different, and the way they see life, and the fact that they believe in next life and the one after that gives them a totally different perspective on.
That's where the evil eye comes from as well.
No, the evil eye doesn't come from India. It comes from the Mediterranean and the countries around the Mediterranean, like Greece, Turkey, Syria, Egypt, Morocco. And it is what they believe, and they still believe it as a matter of fact in all these countries, is that people, whether they want it or not, they feel at times they have negative feelings, or they feel envious, or they feel jealous about something. And that is something that they send over a negative vibe. And this negative vibe can affect you, and therefore you wear an evil eye just to cancel this negative energy. This is the whole idea, and that's why they also give it to little babies, because babies many times, a lot of people look at them and they admire them or whatever it is. So it protects them. It's a protection.
How about you?
Well, one of the inspirations for me is the factories. I mean, one of the factories, the artisans who I work with, because I'm based in Florence as well. I'm all the time in the factories, and I work with the materials, with the tanneries, and that brings a lot of the energy. It's very very important in my product.
And where else do you like to travel around the world?
Well, we travel all around the world, but we are very spoiled, because being in Florence most of the time working, when the summer arrives, spring, summer, we just start traveling around all the coast in Italy, like weekends, little weekends, and it's very special because it has such a big, this has such a big diversity between the north, the south, the east coast and the west coast. really special. And my sandals actually started after my trips to Portofino and Sorrento because I was working for a brand and I would bring my crocodile to those artisans and ask them to make their sandals with my material. That is how the whole thing started.
So, in our case, the direction and the inspiration is quite obvious. We get to get inspired from the country, Greece, and we get inspiration from, you know, the sea, the sky, the stones, the marble, the culture, you know, the huge and deep heritage. And the more we work around all these things that we started 4 years ago, the more we realize how endless is this trip to history. And what we're trying to do now is we're trying to get inspired from the history and the culture and the landscape and all that, and you know, present it in a more up-to-date, more modern way, and that's what we're trying.
What's your favorite place in Greece to visit?
I mean, every bit of it, because I had the opportunity with the brand to travel from north to west, to villages, to mountains, to, you know, we had to locate people, the artisans, that they were doing something unique in places that we won't ever imagine. It's in the soul there. But I have a soft spot for my island, which is Syros in Cyclades. So I do go there as often as I can. Almost every other weekend.
Very jealous. And over to you guys. Is that your phone?
That wasn't me.
Just really interested so much about you two. So if you could tell us a little bit about Mr. and Mrs. Smith, how you guys met, the kind of inspiration for starting the business, which I think is really interesting as well.
Should I start?
Yes.
I'm louder, so I usually start. So I was trying to impress Tamara when we were dating back in a while ago now.
I'm failing.
And failing miserably, taking away for weekends away that didn't quite work out. Courtesy of some nameless guidebooks, which I won't mention, but very much sort of the old guard of sort of hotel brochures, I think you can probably call them. So after a few of these miserable weekends away, we both decided that it was time to write our own guidebook. So we had the idea for Mr. and Mrs. Smith and started putting together things that we wanted from a guidebook, not what everyone else thought we wanted from a guidebook. And that was back in 2003. And it was so long ago, I think that when we were designing the first sort of idea was on your Palm Pilots, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's
that
how long
dates
ago. So really, we were the couple. I'm sure you've all had a little black book idea, and we were just the couple who ended up doing it. We thought, wouldn't it be great? We could have a travel business and travel the world and make it all tax deductible. And it seemed to make a lot of sense, which it did. And it was really a hobby business born from a passion and a frustration that then turned into a best-selling hotel guide that then turned into what we are now, which is a travel club. Looking after our members and booking their amazing trips away all around the world. So.
I think what's interesting is that back then, nobody knew where these hotels were. They didn't have a voice. You know, there were luxury hotel guides, but nobody was championing the unique, independent, small, interesting properties. And yet they were out there, just nobody knew about them.
Yeah, everything was just being judged by stars and diamonds and rosettes and how many plates they could put on their walls and rewards. And yeah, there was no one really judging it by the character and by the hosts and the individual touches and really telling you the important things. So we're looking for things like, you know, is the bed the most comfortable bed you've ever slept in? You know, are the sheets the best Egyptian cotton you've ever sort of felt? Is the shower going to get you wet?
Can you fit two in the bath?
Can you fit two in the bath was a criteria. And I'm big as well. So it's got to be a big bath, exactly. And, you know, can the barman mix you a decent, mojito or whatever it might be. So it was about, these are the touch points. We didn't want to walk around with white gloves checking for dust. We hoped someone else had done all that. We were looking for things that really affected your weekend away, as it was back then.
And so back then we were just uncovering all these incredible places, and I think our role over the years has changed in that, you know, now people know that there are places out there and lots of places to find them on the internet. So, and what happened was the boutique hotel movement just exploded, not just here in the UK, but all over the world. And so now I see our job very much as sorting the weak from the chaff,
Exactly.
and making sure that we only work with the very, very best.
Yeah.
Because there was a period of time where lots of properties just, you know, slapped on Farrow and ball paint and put a bowl of apples in reception and, you know, called it a boutique hotel. But there was no substance to it, and the experience wasn't that great.
So are you guys travelling all the time?
We travel quite a bit.
How much do you get to kind
compared
of go
to
and
maybe
view the
normal
hotels?
people, if that's you
Yeah.
know, yeah, we travel a lot. I mean, we've got kids now as well,
Yeah.
so
So do they
we
go
travel a
with
little
you,
less.
or
We've just
they
got back
curtail
from.
the travel?
Do they? They're like, no, I want to stay here.
I think Tom, our 8-year-old, is probably the best travelled 8-year-old in the
I
world,
bet.
possibly. Yeah, I mean, he's seen far too many good things. I'm actually looking forward to sending him off backpacking, which is going to scare the crap out of him when he starts to check into a hostel, going, "What is this?"
It's being built, don't
Is it?
swear.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can put an 18 on, I'm sure it's fine. So that's going to be a shock when he's not with us. But yeah, we do travel a lot, and we're obviously travelling, trying to spread the word, the gospel of Smith and boutique hotel domination globally. So we've just come back from an Asia trip, and we took the kids on that, of course,
Okay,
as well.
good.
But also making sure that our hotels are, you know, keeping up to scratch, and that we really are still working.
And you do lovely touches,
And that's
like
the
leave
thing,
kind of the gifts there for your members when they arrive at the hotel,
Exactly,
and those little touches as well make it extra special.
It's always, for us, it's always been about the details. So even when we planned the book, you know, the things that we really wanted to put in there were the small details that actually matter.
Yeah.
And so, James was obsessive about
Had you been to every single one of those
Yes.
hotels?
Yeah.
That was,
We
that was the
actually
perk of the job. Yeah.
We went for about 5 years. We went to every single hotel. And then it started to get a bit bigger, and we needed teams, so we trained our teams to know what to look for.
Yeah.
That's great.
And also, we always send away people like you, your good selves, so influencers, as they're now called, or tastemakers. You know, we were doing this years ago, sending cool people away with their partners anonymously to check out hotels. We didn't have Instagram in those days, of course, which we have now, and everything else, socially speaking. But in those days, that's how we reviewed hotels. So we personally checked them all, then we send a cool couple away anonymously to really, you know, see if the hotel was as good as we thought it was going to be. And we still do that today, and it's still very much the sort of the foundation, the bedrock of the business. It's all about finding the best hotel and hopefully looking after the customers in the best possible way afterwards.
So I'm desperate to know which are your favourite.
We can't say that. So
Oh,
it's like choosing favourite children, you're not allowed.
Top 5?
Top 5. Okay, so where should we kick
In
off?
the last year, maybe.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, that makes it easier.
I think, I mean, one of my absolute favourites at the moment is in Stockholm, which is called Et Hem, which is the most beautiful, which means at home. Not that original, but it is a home like you all would love to own. Well, I know I would love to. It hasn't enough children running around it, that's for sure. But it's Ilsa Crawford, who some of you may know, who designed actually the original Babington House, which was one of the very first boutique hotels, has collaborated with the owner, who is completely nuts and obsessed about everything, who has put together, I think, one of the most magical, luxurious, they're calling it a private house hotel. So it's a mixture between almost feeling like you're in someone's home and a hotel. You don't have a general manager there, you have a host there. You walk into the kitchen, there's a chef there who says, what would you like? It's not set. You can say to them, look, tomorrow I want a special evening, could we do this? And it's just very much you feel it's your home, but it's a very, very beautiful home. So that would be one of my favourites right now.
Sounds amazing.
My favourite would definitely be Brazil. There's a place called Ushua Casa that is owned by the guy who was the creative director of Diesel and took it from being a very small Italian fashion house to you know, a multi-million-dollar global enterprise.
When Diesel was great.
Yeah, when Diesel was great. And he came out of Diesel and bought this property in the most wonderful location called Trancoso in Bahia. And it's set on a communal ground, so in the evenings all the Brazilian kids come out and play football. There are no cars around, but the communal area is called the Quadrado. And it's all pastel-coloured little houses set around the most stunning beach with miles and miles of just pure white sand.
Yeah.
It's really incredible. And so, but the thing that makes the hotel special is that Wilbert, the guy who came out of Diesel, decided he never ever wanted to design another dress or pair of jeans ever again in his life, and so turned his creative eye to furniture design. So every single piece of furniture in the house has been designed.
It's extraordinary.
He makes a lot of the stuff as well.
It's extraordinary. So it feels very, we talk about barefoot luxury and upcycling. They do it in a way that just surpasses everybody else.
Amazing.
So that's another extraordinary one. We could be here all night doing this.
I'm
We're incredibly lucky.
desperate to start writing things down. And sort of this summer, for a family holiday, where are you going?
Finally.
Mexico.
Yeah, we haven't been. It's one of the ones we haven't been to. So we're going to the famed Tulum, of course, which is where our members have been enjoying for the last few years. And so yeah, we're a bit late on this one. We're not always first here on trends. We can't keep up as the problem.
Tulum has been exciting for quite a while. And then on the other side, you've got Los Cabos, which is another area. And everybody's saying Los Cabos is the new Tulum. So we're going to check out some new hotels there. But Tulum is just exploding and has got some really fantastic properties.
How long are you going to spend? 2 weeks there, 3 weeks?
We've got 2 weeks there.
Okay.
2 weeks, which is unusual for us. We only usually stay in a hotel for 2 days. I would say, we are real gypsies, really. That's what I feel.
We're not allowed to complain though.
No, we're not. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying we pack a lot. We're always on the move, so it's rare that we spend a very long time in anywhere. But also, we want to go and see the next place. I'm looking for new inspiration. It's just like being in fashion.
There
We're always
are
looking for new things.
There are 3 key destinations that we're looking for Smith as the next kind of wave of travel, because we've been talking about Sri Lanka for a couple of years, and that's really very popular this year. But there are 3 key destinations. One is India, so it's very interesting that you mentioned that, and especially up in the north and near to the Himalayas.
There's a lot of new properties that's opening there now. Finally, a lot of small independent. Okay, great. Hopefully it's on our list.
It will be there.
We'll be launching that
Service
collection.
is amazing and the food is amazing.
But India, I think, has suddenly had a bit of a resurgence in the last 18 months, and our spies around the world tell us that we must now go back and do that properly. Where else are we going?
Japan is also, so the Amman Group, which a lot of you will know, have opened up a property there, and there are lots of new boutique hotel opening, so that's high on our list. And the team have just come back from Nicaragua as well, which is the next kind of hot, that side of the world destination.
Have you been there, Jazz? Have you done that one? No. Have we sent some members there?
Yes.
So that's very, very hot right now.
How
If
do
you
you
want
get
to
to
be really
become
on
one of these
trend.
members that get sent off to places?
Sorry? How do you?
Email us.
You call us, we put you in touch with someone like Jazz or Becky, and they'll look after you. Beautifully, I promise,
And you were talking earlier just about the fact that you've started doing more villas rather than just hotels. Is there a move towards that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Airbnb is all very well, and one point stay is a sort of a sort of posh version of Airbnb, but I mean, particularly if you have families or groups of friends, villas work really well and often better than hotels. But we've always been looking after people in villas within hotels, which is another growing trend. But we've finally got our own villa collection now in Ibiza and Mallorca, which we started this year, which is amazing. And it's the kind of place where you can just look after yourself, or you can have cleaners every day, you can have cooks every night. It's really down to you to design your holiday with us.
So do you work on the concierge part?
We do as well. We have
Okay,
online
lovely.
concierge.
We have someone to pick you up from the airport, take you to the villa.
We'll look after anything legal.
We do it, so we're doing it in a Smith way.
Just saying, in case anybody asks any awkward questions, those are the rules.
Can't take them
Are
anywhere.
you sure you're recording?
We're looking at more destinations for villas. So we just started with Ibiza and Mallorca, and we're looking in the Caribbean, we're looking in Bali, all kind of classic villa destinations. Because the Asians actually travel en masse a lot more than us Europeans or even the Americans. But I think that it's a growing trend that we want to spend more time with family and family members. And so multi-generational travel, especially as you know, the grandparents are the ones with all the money as well. So
we're not taking them just to get their bill.
No. All the babysitting.
So they get to know their grandchildren. That is the reason.
But so multi-generational stays are rising
It's a really,
trend.
Okay.
But everyone's lasting longer.
Yeah, it's true.
And actually, I think, I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely, our kids are definitely more plugged in with their grandparents than I was with my grandparents and their grandparents before. So they're a real part of the family now. So it's nice people all go away together.
Yeah,
I think we're finally appreciating them. So yeah, we're seeing that as a big thing.
I suppose I would love to know if anyone's got any questions for any of our lovely guests tonight. If you have, please shout out.
Are you going to do the best golf courses then?
Best of golf courses. If ever we get divorced, I'm going to do golf and she's going to do spas. That's what we're going to do, yeah.
Which is the most popular kind of area on your site in terms
The
of
most
social
popular.
collection?
Spa is big,
Okay.
yeah.
And but also the budget boutique, because
Yeah.
you know you sometimes if you have a big holiday or if you have a special occasion, you want to spend that money. But you know sometimes you just want a weekend away and you don't want to go to budget and you don't expect 5-star service. You just want to go somewhere that you can relax, go walking, and you don't expect to be served a meal in the middle of the night. And so you know Mr. and Mrs. Smith from the very beginning was always about having lots of different kind of places, because as a customer you want different things at different times.
One of our coolest hotels, which is £80 a night, is in Budapest, called Brody House. It's awesome. I mean, it's a brilliant hotel. It's an amazing members club that also has artists in residence who've designed each room. They're really fun, the owners.
Yeah.
You'll probably end up going out with them, and it's cheap as chips. It's unbelievable. So it doesn't have to be all about price. But if you are expensive, you better deliver. You know, and that for me, it's about value. It's about the experience. It's about the character of the place and what you get. So you know, we don't just look at luxury in a typical through a typical lens.
Any more questions? Well, thank you so much,
Pleasure.
guys. Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
wonderful. And please, if you've got any questions for our lovely staff here, then they are here to help you buy a real useful product to go to these amazing hotels and do so it's all done. Summer's done. Thanks, guys.